So, brethren, it's a pleasure being here once again tonight. And tonight I want to speak on the Son of Man is Lord, even of the Sabbath day, which will be taken from Mark chapter 2, verse 28, and Matthew chapter 12, verse 8. Now, brethren, all scriptures will be read from the King James Version Bible. So I'll start. For those of you who are familiar with the New Testament scriptures, you would no doubt remember that the theme, the Son of Man is Lord, even of the Sabbath day, came at the end of the discourse in which Jesus defended his disciples on a Sabbath breaking charge brought against them by the Pharisees. After having just dealt with that episode, right, which I have done last week, it is really a simple exercise to deal with the topic at hand, which, as before stated, came at the end of that said Sabbath breaking episode of Mark chapter 2, verse 23 to 28, or Matthew chapter 12, verses 1 to 8. Notwithstanding the fact that the episode, the Son of Man is Lord, even of the Sabbath day, was thoroughly dealt with. So I had made mention of it when the Sabbath is not for man. So I had done that one. The Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath. So that was done last week, right? I shall, for your edification sake, refresh your memory by reproducing the full story. So I'll start. I'll be reading from Matthew chapter 12, verses 1 to 8. So at that time, Jesus went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were an hungered, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. But he said unto them, Have ye not read what David did when he was an hungered, and they that were with him? How that he entered into the house of God and did eat the showbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priest. Or have ye not read in the law how that on the Sabbath days the priest in the temple profane or break the Sabbath and are blameless? But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple. But if ye had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice, ye would not have condemned the guiltless, that is, my disciples. For the Son of Man is Lord even or also of the Sabbath day. So that's Matthew chapter 12, verses 1 to 8. To be honest, brethren, it is surely beyond me to understand how our Sabbath keeping friends can attempt to use the text of Matthew chapter 12, verse 8 as a plus in their effort to promote Sabbath keeping today, when both text and context in the episode that I just read from Matthew chapter 12, verses 1 to 8, speak loudly to the contrary. Now, when Jesus said in Matthew chapter 12, verse 8, that he was Lord even or also of the Sabbath day, it must be understood that he had directly or indirectly hinted at his being Lord of something else. Accordingly, from Matthew chapter 12, verse 6, we hear Jesus saying that he was greater than the temple, or that he was Lord of the temple. From this greater than the temple text, therefore, we know that when Jesus said that he was Lord even of the Sabbath day, He was surely informing the Pharisees that he was greater than the Sabbath day also, since the Sabbath day was but a sign of the true rest, which Christ alone can give. So that was Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 to 29, Hebrews chapter 4, verse 3. For those of you who have problems with my conclusion, just consider the following. Which is greater, the shadow of the man or the man himself? I can hear you say, the man, of course, and you would be absolutely correct. For from Colossians chapter 2, verse 14 and verses 16 to 17, we have the following clear statement that the Sabbath day, among other things, is but a shadow of Christ, who is the body, which casts the shadow called the seventh day Sabbath. I'm reading Colossians chapter 2, verses 13 to 14. And you, being dead in your sins and the uncircumcision of your flesh, had he quickened together with him, having forgiven you all trespasses, blotting out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to his cross. So that was Colossians chapter 2, verses 13 to 14. As a consequence of Colossians chapter 2, verses 13 and 14, we are also informed that we ought not to allow the following, which I'll be reading from Colossians chapter 2, verse 16, which states, let no man, therefore, judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath or Sabbath days. That was Colossians chapter 2, verse 16. Why, you ask? The first reason is Christ blotted them out when he went to Calvary. Read Colossians chapter 2, verse 14. In addition, those ordinances mentioned in Colossians chapter 2, verse 16, Sabbath keeping included, are but a shadow of things to come. This fact, the following quote confirms, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body of which the Sabbath is but a shadow is of Christ. That was taken from Colossians chapter 2, verse 17. Now, if from Colossians chapter 2, verse 16 to 17, it is established that the Sabbath is but a shadow of Christ's rest, it follows, therefore, that Christ must be greater than his shadow. So as I come to an end of this segment today, this being the case, when Jesus said that he was Lord also, or even of the Sabbath day, he was simply saying that he was greater than the Sabbath day. And that statement has nothing to do with encouraging or requesting that one observe the Sabbath sign, which is a Saturday today. This being the case, then, there is no denominational doctrinal mileage to be had when our SDA's friend points anyone to this Mark chapter 2, verse 28, Matthew chapter 12, verse 8 verse. For the Sabbath day, which is there linked to Christ, is not linked in a positive way to help the Adventists at all. What Mark chapter 2, verse 28, Matthew chapter 12, verse 8 mean is this: if one has Christ, who is greater than his shadows, which is the Saturdays that they keep, one does not need the shadow at all. So that's the end of my segment today. I will be live next week again. Brethren, Jesus Christ will be returning, and he will be returning soon. You need to spend time and read the Bible on a daily basis. Spend time and meditate and study the word of the Lord. The word is life. And through him, it brings healing, it brings deliverance, and it helps you to understand. Brethren, have a safe and productive week. Remember that Jesus Christ loves you. I love you. So blessed for now.